You're nobody. 38 followers, a profile picture nobody chose carefully, a bio that says something embarrassing like, just living life. You post things and they disappear into nothing, the way almost everything on the internet does. Then one morning, you wake up to a number you've never seen next to your name. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. And you have no idea yet whether this is the best thing that will ever happen to you or the worst. Level 1. The spark. It starts with something small. A video you filmed in 30 seconds. A comment you left without thinking. A photo someone else took and tagged you in. Maybe a joke. Maybe a rant. Maybe something you meant completely seriously that the internet decided was hilarious. Maybe something you meant as a joke that the internet decided was offensive. You didn't plan for this. Nobody does. The first 1,000 shares feel incredible. You're checking your phone every 2 minutes. Your heart is doing something it's never done before. This is the feeling people describe when they say, I went viral. This warm, electric rush of being seen for the first time. By the time you hit 50,000 shares, something shifts. The comments are no longer just people laughing or agreeing or saying, same. Now there are strangers in there picking apart your face, your voice, your background, the way you phrased one specific word in the middle of a sentence nobody was supposed to analyze. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. Famous people deal with way worse. You're not famous yet. You just went viral. That's different. You'll learn the difference soon. Level 2. The 15 minutes. For exactly 2 weeks, you are interesting. You get on a podcast. Not a big one, but a real one. A host with 200,000 subscribers who saw your clip and thought, content. You sit in their home studio trying to sound casual. You say things you think are funny. Some of them land. You get DMs from people you grew up watching. Not all of them are nice, but they know your name. That means something. You don't know yet what it costs. A small brand reaches out. They want to send you free stuff in exchange for a post. You say yes immediately. Of course you do. That's what happening looks like. Here's what nobody tells you about 15 minutes of fame. The attention arrives before you're ready for it. The scrutiny arrives right behind the attention. And the people who showed up to support you are a completely different group from the people who showed up to watch. Most of your new followers aren't fans. They're an audience. Fans want you to succeed. An audience just wants to be entertained. When the entertainment runs out, so do they. Level 3. The target. 3 weeks after the original video, someone finds something. It's always something. A post from 4 years ago, a photo from a party you barely remember, a screenshot of a conversation that's missing the context that would explain everything. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it looks bad. Maybe it's completely meaningless and the algorithm decided to make it mean something. It doesn't matter which one. What matters is that by noon, your name is in the trending tab. Not for the original thing, for this. The thing about a Twitter pile-on, and you need to understand this clearly, is that it's not about you. Not really. You are the topic. But what's actually happening is thousands of strangers are using your name to talk to each other, to prove to their own followers that they're a good person, to score points in conversations that were happening long before you existed and will keep happening long after you're forgotten. You read every single comment. That is your first mistake. Your second mistake is responding. You type a reply that explains everything, lays out the full context, clears up every misunderstanding. You are calm and reasonable and correct. It makes everything worse. It always does. Explaining yourself to a mob is like apologizing to a fire. The fire doesn't care. The fire just gets more oxygen. By midnight, journalists are calling your phone number, a number you never gave anyone. You don't know how they got it. You will never know. Level 4. The free fall. The brand that sent you free stuff sends a new email. It's very polite, very professional. It wishes you well. It says they're choosing to pause the partnership at this time. That's the language they use. Pause. Like your reputation is a Netflix subscription they can cancel and maybe come back to later. They are not coming back. The podcast episode gets pulled. Not deleted, pulled. The host posts a statement saying they take these matters seriously and are reviewing their past content. You were on for 40 minutes. You said nothing wrong. It doesn't matter. 2 people you considered friends go quiet. Not in a dramatic way. They just stop responding. No big public statement, just silence. The kind of silence that means they checked the wind and decided which way it was blowing. One person you barely know, someone you met twice at an event, posts a long thread about their experience with you. It's vague enough to mean anything. specific enough to feel real. Their follower count goes up by 30,000 in 48 hours. Here's the thing about a celebrity scandal that nobody explains. It's not one bad thing that happens. It's 100 small abandonments that happen all at once. The brand, the platform, the acquaintances, the algorithm, which has quietly decided you are controversy now, and controversy needs to be kept in its own corner. You are being reorganized. You just don't know into what yet. Level 5, the silence. You disappear. Not dramatically, not with a goodbye post. You just go quiet because someone, maybe a PR person you hired with money you don't have, maybe a family member with actual sense, sat you down and said, "Stop talking, right now, stop everything." And they were right. The silence is the hardest part. Every morning you wake up and the impulse to say something is physical. It sits in your chest like pressure. You want to explain. You want to fight back. You want the world to know what actually happened, who you actually are, what the context actually was. But the world has already moved on to the next thing. That's the cruelest part of internet fame, and the most merciful one too. You're not the main character anymore. Some other person has the trending topic now. Some other story is being picked apart in real time by people who will forget it completely by Friday. You spend 6 months offline. You learn things about yourself that fame was drowning out. You learn what you actually miss and what you only thought you missed. You thought you missed the attention. You actually missed feeling like your work meant something. Those are two completely different problems with two completely different solutions. Level 6, the machine. When you come back, you don't come back alone. You have a team now. There's a publicist who speaks in full paragraphs and never uses your first name. There's a social media manager who posts on your behalf using words you would never choose. There's a crisis consultant. That's a real job title, crisis consultant, whose entire career is built on situations exactly like yours. They have a plan. Step 1. Reintroduce you to the public slowly. Not with a statement. Statements feel defensive. With something soft. A photo of you doing something wholesome. Community service maybe. A visit to a children's hospital. Something that says I'm still a person without saying anything at all. Step 2. The interview. Not a hard news interview. Not the kind where they ask the real questions. A carefully chosen host. A controlled environment. A conversation that has been discussed and outlined and agreed upon in advance, and then performed as if it wasn't. You cry in the interview. Maybe it's genuine. Maybe you've cried so many times in the past 6 months that the tears are real even when the timing is strategic. You can't always tell the difference anymore. The clip gets 50 million views. Half of those people believe you completely. Half of them don't. Both groups are louder than the truth. Level 7. The comeback that isn't quite. The numbers come back, but they're different. Before the scandal, people followed you because they liked you. After the comeback, people follow you because they're curious about you. That sounds similar. It isn't. People who like you want to see you succeed. People who are curious about you want to see what you do next. And what you do next is always being measured against the thing you're trying to move past. You post something funny. People check to see if it's in good taste. You post something serious. People wonder if it's calculated. You post something personal. People debate whether you deserve sympathy. Everything has a layer now, a subtext, a comment section where two completely different conversations are happening simultaneously, and you are the subject of both. The brand deals come back, but smaller, different companies. Companies that specifically want someone with a complicated story because it fits their brand of being real and unfiltered. You are now a marketing angle. You take the deals. You need to. The past year emptied your savings more than you expected, and the team you hired to save your reputation doesn't work for free. Level 8. The realization. About 2 years after the original thing, something clicks. You're sitting in a meeting, a real meeting, in a real conference room, with real people in suits, and someone is pitching you a documentary about you, about the scandal, about the whole arc. They're calling it a redemption story. They want 4 episodes. A streaming platform is interested. The advance they're offering would cover your debts and leave enough to breathe. And you realize something sitting in that room that changes how you understand everything that happened. The scandal is the product now. The person you were before, the nobody with 38 followers who posted something without thinking, that person created something that the entertainment industry can monetize indefinitely. The fall, the silence, the comeback, the documentary about the comeback, it's all content. Every chapter of your humiliation has a buyer. The people who destroyed your reputation 2 years ago, they got content out of it. The people rebuilding it now, they're getting content out of it too. And you're getting a check. You sign the deal. Not because it feels good, because you understand the game now. The game was always about attention. You just didn't know that when you first stepped onto the board. Level 9, the other side. 5 years after the original thing, someone asks you about it in an interview. A young interviewer, 23 years old. She wasn't really paying attention to internet drama 5 years ago. She was in high school. She asks you how it felt. And you say something honest, which surprises even you. It felt like being in a car accident that everyone filmed and nobody helped. She nods. She types something on her laptop. She moves on to the next question. Later, that quote is the headline. It gets 2 million impressions. People share it and say it's so real. Some of them clip it and post it without your name, just your words floating in the void, collecting someone else's likes. You watch this happen, and you feel something that isn't quite anger and isn't quite amusement. Something in between. You've learned things that can't be untaught. You know that public sympathy is a currency, not a feeling. You know that the story people tell about you is never entirely false and never entirely true. You know that the internet has a memory like a scar. It fades, but it never fully disappears. You know how to spot the early signs in someone else, the viral moment, the breathless excitement, the completely unprepared expression on their face when the comments turn. You've started to recognize the pattern. It's everywhere, once you know what to look for. Level 10, the ghost. You're not famous the way you once were. You're something stranger than famous. You're known. There's a difference. Famous means people love you in real time. Known means people remember you from something. It's quieter, more durable, less warm. You go to events sometimes, industry things, panel discussions, brand activations that pay well and ask little. People recognize your face before they place your name. Then they place the name. Then they have a reaction, and you can read it in about half a second. Oh, that person. Some of those reactions are kind, some aren't. Most are just curious, which is its own kind of exhausting. You watch the newer ones go through it. Some kid on TikTok posts something and wakes up to a number they've never seen before. The grin, the disbelief, the first interview where they're still in shock, still thinking this is only upside. You want to say something. You never do. Not because you don't care, because you know they won't hear it yet. You weren't ready to hear it either once. The only way to learn what fame costs is to pay for it yourself. And so you watch, and you wait. And when they come out the other side, if they come out the other side, you hope someone is there the way someone was there for you. Not to save them, just to remind them who they were before the number next to their name changed everything. Somewhere right now, someone is filming something with their phone. They're not thinking about any of this. They're just filming. And the internet is waiting. It's always waiting. You were nobody once. You learned what it costs to become something. And the strangest part, the part that keeps you up at night, is that if you could go back and stop yourself from posting that first thing, you're not sure you would.